Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
All right, guys, Go to Boy 32 here. Check it out. So I'm sitting here in the Freedom Office, and I wanted to do this video, a quick response to some of the comments that I received in the last video I did concerning the items that you may or may not want to purchase prior to the election. That video received some overwhelming responses, and some of the comments were disturbing to me because some of the individuals, they keep going back to, well, you know, Obama, he was anti-gun and he never wanted to take any of your firearms. You're overreacting. And I would say that you are probably correct that Obama did not want to take our firearms. At least he didn't have the energy to take them. But what I fear most now is these people who are running for office currently, they have such a high energy in that they want to take away our ability to own certain firearms. And the scary part about that is that when they take away this firearm, it opens the door for this firearm or legislation to restrict you on the number of rounds and magazines, as it was reflected by Joe Biden. So we're going to hash through some video that you've seen before, but I want to start it off with this one because this is the one that scares the shit out of everybody. Here we go.
So to gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period. Look, the Second Amendment doesn't say you can't restrict the kinds of weapons people can own.
Do you hear that? The Second Amendment doesn't say you can't restrict certain types of weapons that people own. Well, that just opens up the door to restriction, right? And yeah, our Second Amendment says shall not infringe, but their whole biting bit is that they can restrict the firearms that you own. We're going to continue on going down through. This might be a little longer of a video, but I've pulled out some really unique videos that I think are pertinent to the comments saying you don't have to worry, Obama didn't take these firearms for you. But Obama didn't have Beto O'Rourke. Obama did not have Kamala Harris. And this guy right here, this delusional old fool, will do whatever he can to convince people to vote for him by taking your guns. Here you go. Stand by.
The guys who make these arguments are the people who say the tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots. We need the protection against the government. We need an F-15 for that. You need something well beyond whether or not you're going to have an assault weapon.
Yeah, so you need more to fight against the government. Well, you know what? He's probably right. And then where we should not be infringed, I'm going to tell you something. The guys over there in the sandbox will tell you otherwise. It doesn't take a whole lot to overcome what these individuals... I mean, you remember when Eric Swalwell was talking about, well, you know, you don't even have nuclear weapons. We got nuclear weapons, which everybody was like, oh my God. Now the guy wants to nuke his own citizens. Let's listen further to some of this other stuff. Here we go.
So how would you deal with all the assault weapons that are already out there that people have?
What I would do is I would institute a national buyback program, and I would move in the direction of making sure that in fact was what we tried to do, get them off the street.
But that's not confiscating people.
No, that's not walking into their homes, knocking on their doors, going through their gun cabinets, etc.
All right, so he says right now, he doesn't know of any way of removing those firearms if you've legally purchased them. Okay, well, enters a guy named Beto O'Rourke. And a lot of people don't give this guy the attention that he deserves because, and I will show you this later in the video. Here we go. Hold on.
You've gone further. You said, quote, Americans who own AR-15s and AK-47s will have to sell them to the government, all of them. You know the critics call this confiscation. Are you proposing taking away their guns, and how would this work?
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to work. They'll create such a legislation, and if they get the House and the Senate, and thank God that when Obama did have the House and the Senate, they tried to go for another assault weapons ban. It's out there. The bill is there. All they got to do is get enough votes. If we lose the House and we lose the Senate, both of those, there are a few individuals in the Democratic side who understand that there are well, let's just say there's going to be hell to pay if in the event this actually does happen. But what they're not going to do, what they don't want to do, is that they don't want to create a ban on sale. What they want to do is create a mandatory buyback. Here we go.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
He's not the only one to worry about. You've got somebody named Kamala Harris, who is terrifying to the Second Amendment. I want you guys to listen to this real quickly.
Which suggests you're either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. To recognize, you know what, you want to go hunting, that's fine. But we need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks and a renewal of the assault weapon ban.
There you go, the renewal of the assault weapon ban. And again, people, I don't know where they get this idea that the Second Amendment was designed to go deer hunting. It's not. It's designed for you to protect yourself and protect yourself from a tyrannical government who overreaches their limitations. Our Constitution was designed to limit government. But these people, these individuals right here, they don't care about limitations. They want to rule your life. They want to maintain, if you have it and we need it, we will take it. That's the whole thing. Socialism. That's where we're heading. Again, let's continue.
Upon being elected, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety laws. And if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action.
And there it is. Kamala Harris is probably one of the scariest things to happen to us because Joe Biden's health is not exactly where it needs to be. If he wins, it's almost rest assuredly that by the 25th Amendment, they will go ahead and remove him from office, where Kamala Harris will then take over, and then Nancy Pelosi, if she has the House and if she still is Speaker, will then become our Vice President. It is a scary, absolute scary thing. But this is even more scarier because back where we are, we still have this guy named Beto O'Rourke who, well, let's watch this and you can see.
You're going to stand up for each and every one of us and end gun violence in America with universal background checks, extreme risk protection orders, and an end to the selling of weapons of war in our communities.
I want to make something clear. I'm going to guarantee you this is not last year's scene of this guy. You're going to take care of the gun problem with me. You're going to be the one that leads this effort. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you.
Counting on you. Counting on you. And again, I go back to where Beto O'Rourke is probably one of the most terrifying things that would ever happen to our Second Amendment. If Joe Biden is elected, and if he follows through with putting Beto O'Rourke in charge of our gun control system, and then once he's gone, you have Kamala Harris. Now, again, for all you people who are sitting there saying, "Y'all, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's just don't worry about what's going on. Obama didn't take your stuff, and neither is Biden." Guys, you're being fooled. And if you sit back on your haunches and you vote Democrat this year, this is what's going to happen. Listen to this, as Beto O'Rourke doesn't say voluntary. It's a mandatory thing, and once it becomes law, people will follow the law. They obey the law. Well, when it comes to violating our Second Amendment, myself, as along with so many other people, are going to have to step up and do something about it.
We played your clip where you said, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15 and your AK-47. Let's get specific about what you mean there. Is that federal agents knocking on doors, taking the guns physically from Americans?
No, I think it's expecting Americans to follow the law, and I know that they will.
Okay, so just to underline it, it will be voluntary. It won't be hell yes, we'll come get your guns.
No, it's not voluntary. I want to make sure that we make the distinction here. It is mandatory. It will be the law. You will be required to comply with the law.
It's mandatory. You will be required to comply with this law of seizure of property, because they create a majority who will vote, and then they will come and get your stuff. And the thing is that he thinks that there are people out there who will comply. Kind of like the jackass that sawed his gun in half. What a moron. Well, anyway, guys, for those individuals who are sitting there saying, Obama didn't take your guns. Biden's not going to take your guns. Biden is on track to do whatever he can to confiscate your guns, whether you think it's voluntary or mandatory. It is confiscation. And he's going to do it through a couple different ways. Registration, he knows where they are, and then he'll do the involuntary buyback, led by this guy, Beto O'Rourke. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'm going to tell you something. This is some scary stuff. It really, really is. And I'll be honest with you, it will come a time, if this happens, that we will all have to step up and be patriots. Period. It's Code Boy 32. Guys, don't forget to visit the guys over there at Premier Body Armor. They're pretty cool dudes, and they're right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is one of the nice things. Well, I was in them like this. God bless America. God bless those men and women in uniform who enforce our Constitution as it was written by our founding fathers, which incorporates a thing called a Second Amendment and is not limited at any means. Freedom is not free. I get all hell bent when I do these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and haven't already done so. I'm out of here. Y'all be good.